So if you're a millennial like me, there's a very good chance that you look up to liberal comedians, not just for the comedic value that they provide, but also for their political commentary, for the information that they provide to us about politics. However, as of late, the political comedians that we have in this country, they're not really speaking truth to power so much as they're carrying water for power. And once they began to realize that their millennial viewers don't really like Hillary Clinton, they started to scold us into submission, or certainly try to scold us into submission. So when us peasants decided to stop accepting the crumbs fed to us by the Democratic Party, well, now it's the case that these liberal comedians are doing everything in their power to get us to fall in line. Case in point.
To the Bernie or bust people, you're being ridiculous.
You did a great job. Your passion changed the Democratic Party, and that is no small thing. You should be proud of yourselves for his campaign, but also you have to be quiet now.
What do these Bernie or bust motherfuckers want? How do they plan to get it? And when will it be safe to go back on Facebook?
And I can't get mad that the system is rigged against the white guy.
So this is what you've been dealing with for months now if you're a progressive. People who you once respected, people who you once looked up to, are talking down to you and wagging their finger at you, which is a phenomenon that I like to call rich-splaining. It's where a rich person talks down to you and thinks that they're better than you in the smug, rude way because you're not doing what they want you to do. You're not voting the way that they want you to vote. Now, we have a new round of rich-splaining that I want to talk about. So first of all, Trevor Noah of The Daily Show doesn't like that we're opposed to Obama taking $400,000 from Wall Street as a reward for his service to them while he was president. Now, on The Daily Show, Trevor Noah argued that people are saying Obama shouldn't accept the money for his speech, so the first black president must also be the first one not to take money afterwards. Fuck that and fuck you, says Trevor Noah. Because if you're against corruption, Trevor Noah thinks you're a racist. That's literally the implication. No, Trevor, it has nothing to do with President Obama's race. It has everything to do with corruption. We elected Obama. We voted for Obama because we thought he would represent us. He claimed that he would do business unlike any other president in history. And look what he did. He betrayed us. He was super cozy with Wall Street. So how is it that we're supposed to just let him get rewarded after he betrayed us and not speak out? That's what you're in favor of, right, Noah? It's unacceptable. Now, what's interesting to me is that Trevor Noah was so proud of this that the official Daily Show account on Twitter literally created a GIF that they wanted to share to the world to just double down on this idiotic claim. But if that wasn't enough for you, Bill Maher went on CNN and he wanted to tell us how ashamed he is of us for thinking that Hillary Clinton was the lesser of two evils.
Those people who said, well, she was the lesser of two evils and a pox on both their houses. Now we have 100 days of empirical evidence of what a Trump presidency looks like. They should be ashamed of themselves. And for the future, we should note this, that you were wrong about Hillary just being the lesser of two evils.
Hey, Bill, I'm not sure if you know this, but Hillary Clinton was, in fact, the lesser of two evils. And this wasn't just any ordinary case of the lesser of two evils. The two options that we were presented with were so evil that if you voted for one of them, you would most definitely get screwed over. They're both militaristic. You really don't have a choice. It's the illusion of choice. So yes, Hillary Clinton was in fact the lesser of two evils, and to deny that is to deny reality if you actually claim to be a progressive, because what did she do recently? She applauded Donald Trump for his strikes in Syria, and she said Donald Trump probably shouldn't have warned the Russians that they would be bombing a Syrian airfield. So in other words, she was okay with Trump killing Russian soldiers, which would spark a new world war. You don't think that is the lesser of two evils? You don't think that's evil at all, Bill? Just because Donald Trump is a terrible president does not mean that Hillary Clinton is good. And that's what these liberal elites need to realize. Yes, it is the case that I do believe that Hillary Clinton is the lesser of two evils when you compare her to Donald Trump. But the problem is that that evil is still so evil that it's not just about the lesser of two evils. I still can't support that much evil. Now, the thing about Bill Maher is that he said some things during this interview that I agreed with. He said that he wants Bernie Sanders to run for president in 2020. He said that the Democratic Party needs to wake up and that Hillary Clinton wasn't a perfect candidate. But here's the thing, Bill. You never spoke about Bernie Sanders. You rarely had him on your show, and currently you keep having corporate Democrats on your show. You recently had Neera Tanden on your show. So if you actually want to to be progressive, then why don't you have some progressives on your show? And I'm talking about true progressives, not these milquetoast progressives from the Democratic Party establishment that are in favor of identity politics, but disregard economic issues that we all care about and are talking about. Why don't you do that, Bill? But you don't care. Now, there's another one, probably the worst offender here, because Bill is probably the least problematic of all of the liberal comedians who are smugging and talk down to us. But Samantha Bee by far is the worst, because she actually dedicated an entire segment of her show during the primaries to burning your bust people, because we were angry that the primaries were rigged. And she was basically wagging her finger at us, making fun of us, implying that we were sexist because we were angry that Hillary Clinton cheated her way to the Democratic Party nomination. Now, she was asked whether or not smug liberals are the problem.
Does he have a point about smug liberals? I'm not talking about you, but is there a smug liberal problem?
You know, that is something that I can't really, I just can't take responsibility for the way the election turned out. I just absolutely, I can't. Is there a smug liberal problem?
You told her not to go to Wisconsin.
I guess, I don't think there is. Like, I do the show for me and for people like me, and I don't really care how the rest of the world sees it, quite frankly. That's great. We make a show for ourselves, we put it out in the world, we birth it, and then the world receives it however they want to receive it.
Fair enough.
What can I do?
Here's what you can do, Samantha. You can actually get out of your bubble and talk to grassroots activists, because what these so-called liberal comedians don't realize is that being liberal is about more than just paying lip service to identity politics, which they claim to care about minorities, but I don't see her talking about anything important like criminal justice reform or immigration reform. But I mean, they pay lip service to social justice issues while completely ignoring our legitimate economic grievances that we have with the Democratic Party. But if you actually want to be liberal, you actually need to put your money where your mouth is. Actually go talk with grassroots activists. Stop doing propaganda for the Democratic Party. That isn't liberal. Don't just stand up for social justice, but also stand up for economic justice and justice in the form of Medicare for all. But you just continue to talk down to us and wag your fingers at us, condescendingly so, and you're proving our point. We say that elites in this country look down upon us, they think we're peasants and our lives don't matter, and by you continuously wagging your finger at us and being smug and condescending toward us, you're proving our point. That's how elites think of us, even liberal elites, the ones who are supposed to be better than the Koch brothers. You are just as smug and arrogant as them. You may not buy politicians, but you're not doing anything to help us by carrying water for a corrupt corporatist party like the Democratic Party and not actually holding them accountable without actually talking about policies that would save lives, Medicare for all. How do you call yourself a liberal? And you think that you're on the right side of history, Samantha. You're not on the right side of history. You are stifling progress that grassroots activists are fighting for every single day while you sit in your mansion and look down on us. Here's the thing. This is my message to all of these liberal comedians. You're not better than anyone because you're rich. Your shit still stinks. You are no better than anyone in the country, even though you think you are, even though you're smug enough to believe that your farts smell great. People are people. Having money does not make you superior to us in any way, shape, or form. And if you actually want to be liberal, be liberal. Actually talk to people from the grassroots. Do that. Or shut the fuck up, because you're not helping us. You are not helping us at all by carrying water for a corrupt party that desperately needs to reform right now. You're saying, no, they don't have to reform. You should have shut up and, take the crumbs that Hillary Clinton wanted to feed to you. Well, no, the peasants are revolting and we're not going to accept crumbs anymore. And you can either help us with that cause, or you can no longer pretend to be liberal. The jig is up. We know what you're all about. You're rich. You think you're better than us, but you're not better than us.
Support this podcast by joining the independent progressive media revolution today at humanistreport.com.